We got 90-degree weather. Whoo! You see those girls in their hoochie mama shorts?
They out there with that today. They have some issues. But
Welcome. This is Be a Voice.
UWM campus.
Wisconsin Voices. This is Tamika, co-executive director of organizational empowerment.
Brian Sanders, lead organizer, Wisconsin Voices. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. We're gonna start out with it's cold. Now let me talk about our people. Good morning, Debo.
Good morning, Tamika. How are you?
Can you say that again?
Good morning, Tamika. How are you?
Y'all like that voice? That's why he be on Saturday nights. I'm telling you. Put a little pillow talk.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Brian, I think he got you.
He do. He got some practice on the mic. I need to step my game up.
And our man here, can you get the camera down to your shoes? Yeah, we gotta show you these shoes.
Carvey, what's the name of them joints again? I remember when they came out.
What is it called?
The Big Red Boots by Mischief. They were a huge fad last year, and everybody was grabbing them, and you couldn't find them. And they came out. I think they even came out with some other colors too, didn't they, Carvey? Yeah, but I think the red ones was the ones that was showing, the fashion statement. Yeah,
he decided
extreme waterproof. You will have no problems getting through the 5 inches of snow in Milwaukee today and surrounding counties.
We got a caller already. We're gonna take a caller right away, and then we're gonna get into business. Caller, you are on the air.
How y'all beautiful souls doing? I had to call because we were sitting here at the kitchen table just laughing at y'all, ribbing on y'all because a lot of y'all got faces for radio. Now y'all done turn in, y'all talking about fashion and dressing and wanting to look at shoes. This is radio. Look at y'all. Look at y'all.
But if you knew that we were live streaming, you would be able to see it. Go on the Facebook page. It's live stream, so you could see what's going on. And I definitely have a face for TV.
Debo, you said they got it to YouTube, huh?
Yeah, we actually simultaneously stream YouTube as well as Facebook. So
nice.
Caller, how you coming with us?
Caller, get with the times. That's all.
Right. I like that. Get with the times. 860 WNOV. Right. You got to go to Facebook 860 WNOV, and you can simultaneously watch it on the Facebook, and of course tune in on the radio. Thank you.
And you can connect on our website, wisconsinvoices.org. Let's get down to business. We are continuing our series talking to candidates. We have a candidate, and I'm going to do the same thing. Candidate, introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Brandon Williford. I am currently running for Milwaukee County Supervisor on the far northwest side of Milwaukee.
So, what district is that?
It's the Supervisor District 18.
So we had you on before, and you had a primary, and obviously you came out. That was a close one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty close. I think it was really close, yeah.
So what that means is people in the District 18, if it's that close and you just knew somebody was going to win or you knew somebody's going to take it, you better go out there and vote because it might be close again. He has an opponent. He's working. His opponent will be on next week. We don't say opponents' names. We try not to because we don't want to get nobody. If you don't know, if they ain't did their job, then they ain't do your job. So how's it been going on the campaign trail?
Yeah, it's been going really good. I think the most exciting thing is being able to knock doors and talk to people at the doors and get the issues that matters most to them. And being at the door is so personal, and it's so it's a great connection that's being able to be made. And, so I really appreciate it. It's probably the best thing that comes out of this campaign. So
what have you heard differently than you did in the primary about doors? I mean, so a lot of things have happened. What is the one thing that they're talking about on the doors right now?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that, folks are talking about on the doors, not just in my district, I'm assuming throughout Milwaukee County, is the reckless driving and, just the potholes and the bumpy roads in the streets too. So It's really a big focus on the streets, and yeah.
Well, some of those are city and some of them are county. So I guess I could see them talking to you about county roads because some of them are city. Remember, some of them are city, some of them are county. Um, what else are you looking forward to do if you win? I mean, let's say even though you have to work with 17 other people, if you had your to-do list of the first 100 days, what would you try to accomplish?
Yeah, the biggest thing that I want to do is see a senior center get put onto the far northwest side. There's currently not any senior centers on that side of town, and I think it's really important that we get a facility over there because it increased the health outcomes of seniors in the area. And then I also just want to see us invest in our county parks and make sure we have like basketball courts and the pickleballs and all that stuff. So people can just have something to do at the end of the day.
I don't know what pickleball is.
Yeah, that's one of the ones we were speaking earlier about some of the sports that we had at Nicolay. That was another one, pickleball, ultimate frisbee. So yes, it's pretty much like a slower
He's
version of
a
tennis.
he's a graduate of Nicolay High School, people. Where did you graduate from?
Yeah, I graduated from John Marshall High School, and I ended up getting my degree from University of Wisconsin Milwaukee in political science, philosophy, pre-law.
I forgot what my
Nice.
husband says. He says he's a graduate of um he's from MPS, but he's like people that are superior or something. He uses the MPS for people superiority or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, put the NPS. We went to Riverside or something.
No, he went to Hamilton.
Oh, Hamilton.
I
Okay.
know the Vukovic went to Hamilton and the Gray went to Shorewood. That's kind of we got some issues going on in the Vukovic family. What did you? I know I really want to go back to something that you said before. Why did you run? Because I think even though we interviewed you before, why did you run?
Yeah. So for me, on the far northwest side, I was born and raised there. And all my family is there, all my friends are there, and I'm really happy to call that side of town my home. And for me, I believe that I understand the issues, not just for folks on that side of town, but throughout Milwaukee County, based on my experience being here. And not every single issue, but a majority of issues that people face throughout the county, and the other issues I'm meeting you at the door to find out, right? But through that, though, I believe that by working with the people in my community, I can provide some meaningful changes to the issues that they face.
414-444-5250 if you have a question. Um, there's a lot of talk among people about what the county spends their money on. And I know you may not have gotten deep dived into it, but you were talking how you would like them to reallocate money to the parks and maybe a senior center. Anything else that you find that they need to reallocate money and or something that you think is a waste of money that the county is I don't like to say waste because there's always somebody who uses that money, but you think that it could go to a different source.
Yeah. So that's a great question, and for me, I believe that it's important then for all the supervisors to be very detailed and examined in the budget, just because that's the hardest part of the job. So, I would like to see us invest more into the Milwaukee County transit system. I know the folks on the county and in the county executive office have been putting together some nice proposals to get passed, and we also just expanded the Connect transit line. But I do want to see us continue to expand transportation throughout the county, just because it is a great opportunity for folks to have more access to jobs. So.
There is a I'm not in Milwaukee, so it's a race for our mayor, and one of the candidates said that he he didn't believe that we should put money into the transit system. He doesn't use it. Most of the people don't use it. And I'm like, dude, but that's because we're privileged enough to have a car. There are so many people who need to get to these jobs that we can get in our car and drive outside of Milwaukee County or on the other side of Milwaukee County where you live. And transit is extremely important. Milwaukee is not small. You can't just walk down the street and get to the other side, in a half hour. It's not small. So having that transportation is definitely important. There is also, I know they're working on these trails, and one of the things that I see in the suburbs that people talk about the Milwaukee, the trails and the bike trails, but I think it needs to be a connection within the city too. City people ride bikes. City people, um, want to walk those quiet trails. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I think that is a very great point. And for me, I also want to see us. So they call it the Emerald Necklace, and it's actually not complete all the way, but it's the Oak Leaf Trail,
Right.
and it goes across all the county parks. You can literally walk through the trail from the north part of the county all the way down to the south part of the county. So it's a long trail. Um, but for me, those activities, I'm an avid hiker. So I think that it is important that we continue to expand our trail system, get more bike trails, and have people be more active up in the more nature aspects that we have in our county. So
Well, I know you've been working hard, and when I know a couple times you thought long and hard about running in this race. You decided you said no, I'm not going to do it. Then I said that yeah, you really wanted to make sure. You had told me you really wanted to make sure that this was the right spot for you and what you thought you could achieve being here. You could have picked assembly, any other one. Why did you pick
yeah, yeah. So for my reason on the county is, it's just I have a very large passion for our county parks. So with the park system is kind of like how I kind of got into the politics. Working with some of the senators in our state senate, who had a strong passion for the parks. So it kind of led me there that way. And then I also have a passion for our youth as well, and just want to see our youth have strong opportunities. And over time, a lot of our parks kind of got um, a lot of the parks in the city and throughout the county as kind of dwindled, and as far as the capacity for it to take on the our teens and young children. And I just want to see those things come back so our kids can have something to do at the end of the day.
all right, we got a caller.
Good
Caller,
morning.
go ahead.
Yes, I'm here. Good morning. Am I
Good
coming through?
morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Well, good morning, Ms. Tamika, and good morning, Mr. Candidate. Is he
Good
there? He
morning.
did.
Good morning.
All right. Well, thank you. Good morning, there. Let's get the grits out your throat, man. Let's go. Campaigning.
I do want some grits, by the way.
Can't get stuck now. Plus on a Friday, man, everything going on. Let's go. Let's get it. All right. Well, anyway. Well, good morning. Yeah, Tyrone W. You're speaking with Mr. Tyrone W. The one and only.
Hey
Good morning.
Tyrone, how you
Yes.
doing?
Blessed, joyful, grateful, thankful to the Lord. Thanks for asking. And I just wanted to say why I'm here. A blessing, wonderful Holy Week, Palm Sunday, Good Friday, and Resurrection, Easter Sunday to all that's in the sound of my voice. God bless, be blessed, do well to all. Be kind and generous to all, everyone. Let's get with it and get what the Father has for us as far as progressing and moving forward. Okay, very quick. Yes, we do need the transportation. I'm between and be buffled. I mean, I know this is probably beyond your pay grade and your professionalism as far as what you could do about it. But the young man that was killed over a transfer. I mean, come on, give me a break. I mean, I was buying bus passes and tickets because instead of giving the people the money, so they could buy whatever tobacco. I'm not going to support your smoking habit or your drinking your shot of. You got to get that on your own there. I would give them the 2 tickets or whatever to get where they were going. I'm trying to see here, why do they have to be greedy with the transit stuff there? As far as if something's working, why mess with it? Why mess with it? Why break it? So the bus passes and the tickets were working, as opposed to sad that the young man on Brown Deer had to lose his life behind a transfer. Come on, give me a break. So now, I would love to see transit do well there, but I don't know. Everybody doesn't want the whatever you call it, the e-card and all this other stuff, putting them up. They want something that's going to be that they've got in their hands there. Now you can do away with the transfers, but there's ways you can punch the thing there. I know in Detroit there they had a little thing there that punched out circles there. So there's ways you can do it there without the transfer, but can still make it feasible. So if we can come up with something where, not saying you, but some of the greedy people, I don't know if it's Abley or whoever there, but somebody's BSing us, and somebody got their hand in the cookie jar, being too greedy. So I'll let you go with that, but we'll talk soon. Be blessed. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Tyrone. I really do. And I definitely understand too with the transfers and the upgrade in technology. I think it kind of makes it a little bit more tough for our seniors to use our buses as well. And so I do want to see us kind of figure out some way to improve the technology to make it more accessible so everybody can ride our buses. So.
Well, I thank you. Look at you. You just smiling. You smiling. All right, everybody. This is District 18. Get out and vote. We voting. We'll talk about early voting when we come back, and we will have a candidate for the Circuit Court, Marissa Bell Cabrera. Back at you.
Did you know that voter education includes women and men who are currently incarcerated? While they cannot vote, the fact is they have family and friends who can vote. Expo has been contacting these men and women with accurate information on who is eligible to vote. At Expo's People in Politics events, we engage our local communities in discussing important issues. We educate the people in our community on what unlock the vote means and how voter disenfranchisement disproportionately impacts people of color, excluding thousands of people in Wisconsin from voting. Expo has trainings on state budget process and how legislation is crafted and passed. For more information, please visit our website at expowisconsin.org. And remember, you have a right not to remain silent.
Hey, this is School Board Director Daryl Jackson, who represents District 3 for MPS.
MPS School Board Director Aisha Carr, representing District 4.
Tune in this Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. as we discuss
all things MPS referendum and as we talk about the state of
Wisconsin Voices' 3 pillars: protecting democracy, teaching advocacy, building community. You're listening to Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org.
Please join Wisconsin Voices every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We will be focusing on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
You are now listening to Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice Radio.
Be a voice.
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 Visit wisconsinvoices.org.
Visit wisconsinvoices.org.
Visit wisconsinvoices.org.
And learn more on how to be a voice with Wisconsin Voice.
WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee.
And we are back. Brian,
Yes.
you are all up in the phone. What you trying to do? What you doing?
I was doing a little research.
Oh,
to see what was
research on
going
who?
on.
What do you know? We researching.
I'm just
See,
looking
we
at,
research at Wisconsin Voices here.
trying to make sure I had everything, just to make sure, just in case we dropped any early voting plugs. And
We're gonna do that after our next guest.
sounds good to me.
Full disclosure, she is a good friend of mine. Introduce yourself.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Maria Isabel Cabrera. I am a candidate for Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge, Branch 43, and I'm happy to be here today to introduce myself and tell folks a little bit more about me and why I'm running.
Okay, how do you do it? Marissa Cabrera.
Well, I am Puerto Rican, so it's more natural for me, but Maria Isabel Cabrera is how you would say it properly. For folks who don't speak Spanish, I tend to give them an English version, which is Marisabel Cabrera.
Her aunt, who is a wonderful friend of mine, she kept calling me Linda. And she was like, "Hi, Linda. How are you? It's so good to see you." So I thought, she's a little bit older. So I thought she was just forgetting my name. No offense. I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" What was she really saying?
It's Linda. That's beautiful. She's
Yeah,
saying,
she's
"Hi,
saying,
beautiful."
"Hey, beautiful." I kept thought she was calling me Linda. So I'm going to ask you, since this is your first time here, I'm going to ask you the question: what is the job of a circuit court judge?
So our circuit courts are courts of general jurisdiction, which basically mean that it isn't one specific area, one type of case that they accept. They accept all cases at the first instance. They're trial courts, so it's the first time that the cases will be heard. The judges, what they do is hear testimony and evidence from all the parties involved when they have a dispute, and they help them try to achieve a peaceful resolution. And they also are responsible for upholding our rights and freedoms.
Why did you decide to run?
Well, there's a few reasons. One of them being that I have a very deep commitment to public service. One of my family's core values, as you know, my aunt has been very involved in many things in civil rights and creating self-determination for our communities. And so it was always a thing that it was emphasized in our family that number one, if you're ever fortunate enough to do well in life or do better, that it is your responsibility to help others in the community do the same, but also any knowledge and experience and skills that you have gained over the years, you should be using those to help improve your community. So that's one reason. The other reason would be that I want to help to build back confidence in our judicial system. I believe a lot of folks out there have become disillusioned in how there's so many, in particular in Wisconsin, specifically where the outcomes are this very disparate impact on our minority communities when it comes to the data that's out there for mass incarceration and many other things that are social ills and issues in our community. It seems to impact us at a higher rate. And so that's something as far as the judicial system I would like to help build back confidence in. And to do that,
you have to be a judge.
The other reason that I'm running is to ensure that due process and equal protection of the law actually means something.
I've heard many times where people say, African American versus a white, same exact crime, the penalties are harsher on the African American or the person of color. So you're trying to say that you're trying to make sure that there's due process that equal.
That no matter what your ethnic background is, your income bracket, or the people who are, that if you're similarly situated to anybody else that's going through the system, that you're going to have a similar outcome, and that the outcomes are consistent across the board.
What is so I know obviously you're a lawyer, but give us a little bit of background of your educational background and what you've been doing since you've up to when you are now running.
Okay. So to become a circuit court judge, you need to have 5 years practicing as a lawyer. I have 18, practicing in the areas of immigration rights, criminal defense, and family law. I also am serving in my third term in the state assembly, where I advocated for legislation that's pro-choice, pro-worker, pro-equality, to make sure everybody has an equal opportunity to thrive in Wisconsin. And I also previously served on Milwaukee's Fire and Police Commission for 6 years, where we set public safety policy, and I presided over employee appeal hearings.
So you kind of got a little bit of taste of public service.
Yes, like I said, it's very important to me. I'm single. I have no children, so I want to make sure this knowledge goes somewhere and it gets put to good use.
What is that a hint that you want to get
Yeah.
out there like that? No, I'm just kidding.
No. But yeah, I do. I have I not only just have a diversity in areas of law that I've practiced, but as you can see, I have a diversity in professional background. I've been an attorney, I've been a legislator, I've been a fire and police commissioner.
It looks like we have a caller, 414-444-5250. If you have a question, go ahead, caller.
Yes, ma'am. It is I again. Good morning.
You just like us, don't you?
Indeed, I do. Well, actually, I like you and I love you. I mean, I'm part of the community you are of too. So yeah, I'm trying to get it right along with you. Tyrone W. speaking, Miss Marissa. Good morning.
Good morning.
I received your mail in. Thank you very much. And I not gonna suck all the air out the shoulder, but I appreciate what I've read there. And I will see. You know, so far so good. I mean, I don't know if you're unopposed or what. They're on the ballot there, but as it stands right now, it appears that yes, I am truly voting for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. And you know, keep doing what the best you're doing to uplift the community and all that. And plus, you're good looking as well. So.
Thank you.
Now he got the or he wasn't the caller, but they have the technology right, so they can see.
And a wonderful Resurrection Sunday, Holy Week, and all to you and your family. It looks like I'm voting for you, so keep up what you're doing, and we'll see what happens once you're elected and moving forward. Thank you very much.
You have a wonderful day.
We're gonna go into one more caller real quick. Caller, go ahead.
Good morning, and thank you for taking my call. I know there's another person running against your guest on the show, and I hope one day next week she's going to be on the show so that you can hear from her as well.
Let me just I have sent emails and calls to every candidate that was on the ballot. If she has not responded, I mean, he or she, because I don't even remember what it is, but they have to respond. And I have been putting people on, and if they can come on, I have maybe 1 or 2 slots left, because I sent it out on March 2nd. So anything that we have put out there, we have responded to everybody so if they're not here, it's because they didn't respond. I just wanted to clear that up. It's not that I'm handpicking people to come on or anything.
I know you're not, and I appreciate what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And both of these ladies have been in the community. I've seen them both on several different occasions. And like I said, when you do early voting and you do these things, sometimes you lose out a lot. And it's important that people get out here and make that difference, because this is so critical. The school board referendum is so critical. I was locked into saying, yes, I am not a yes anymore, because of what I've learned, and because of people. I hate when people don't make things plain to people. You shouldn't need a degree to decipher what's being stated. Say what you're about, because once you do that to me, I lose confidence in you, and I just don't have time to be bothered with it. Our kids are important like all the other kids in the other communities. And when you take money from us, I just have a dumb question. I'm a layman. Now, the schools that are out there that are not being used, who's the landlord of them? Is it Milwaukee County?
The city.
The city of Milwaukee. So
yes.
As long as those schools are on the NPS school debt, I mean, it's under their house, then that debt is with us. Can the schools that are not being used, they're not going to sell them, can they give them back to, can they say, okay, city, take them back?
We will answer, listen further, because we have a guest that can probably help us with that a little, answering that question a little bit more after we talk with Ms. Cabrera.
Okay, yeah.
Stay tuned, because we'll get that question answered by our next guest.
Okay, thank you, and hey, keep doing what you're doing. Keep getting out there talking to people, because it's a personal choice, and when you make the effort to do what you need to do, you will see your reward in the end.
Thank you, ma'am. We have another caller. Caller, go ahead.
Hi, good morning or good early afternoon. I have a question for the candidate. Circuit Court number 43, what type of, is that a specialized court for certain type of cases? And because you've never been a judge or what have you, what makes you believe that you're qualified, besides all the other things I know you've listed, but you know, what makes you think that you're qualified to do this position? And I'm asking because I want to know, but I'm also going to tell you I do intend to vote for you also, but I would like to hear what you have to say about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. So Branch 43 currently is a children's court. They handle cases that deal with child abuse and neglect, termination of parental rights, juvenile delinquency cases. But as a new judge, I could possibly be reassigned to a different court. That there's 47 circuit court branches in our Milwaukee County Circuit Court. Each one of them are dedicated to a specific subject area. And so I may go to children's court, I may go to a different court, but I would say that I am the only candidate that has actual experience that doing things that judges do. I did serve on the Milwaukee Fire and Police Commission for 6 years, and part of our duties were presiding over appellate employee appeals, where we listened to testimony, we evaluated evidence, and we applied to law to the circumstances. And I'm the only candidate with that sort of background experience. So I do think that I am the most qualified.
There is, and most people who run for circuit court judges have never been a judge before. So basically all of them have never been judges before. There is a training if you are an attorney, you have to have at least 5 years, I believe, of practicing law, and then there is some training that they do in regards to that. And actually, we can talk to our next guest about some of the things that they have to do. But I'm not going to say all, but the majority of them have never been judges before, unless they were a judge in a smaller municipality like Shorewood or Glendale or something, and then they moved into Milwaukee and then decided to run. But most of them have never been judges before. It's kind of an entry level position.
Right, that is true, and like that's why it's so important that I do have that experience where I was presiding over hearings. But also, I would have to say too, aside from just the 18 years of experience I have in practicing in different areas of law and my experience in the Fire and Police Commission, I would say also that I'm probably one of the people who would relate most to the experiences of the types of parties that would be before me. My family has my friends and families have all experienced many of the things that the folks who have who would be before me, the evictions, custody battles. I have family members who have been incarcerated for many, many years. And so I understand what the impact on, not just that individual, but their family as well would be. And so I do intend to serve as a judge that's compassionate, that listens to folks, that is respectful and observant of people's rights while applying the law.
I don't know if I want to be a judge. That kind of power. This is a very important, position, because you are deciding if someone is going to lose their freedom or not.
Right.
And plus, I know there's been judges that people have elected in the past that never stepped foot in a courtroom. like never did a trial, never did anything, but they voted them in. So that's why you have to pay attention to the experiences that these people who are on the ballot and you're
Yeah.
voting for them.
And that's true too, because I'm actually licensed both here in the state of Florida and the state of Wisconsin and the state of Florida. And I have practiced at the trial level and the appellate level, both in Wisconsin and Florida, as well as at the federal courts too. So my experience is very broad, and I think that's why I have so much support right from the beginning once I announced.
Well, I'm so excited to have you here. Hopefully, your opponent will reach out to us and we can have them in next week or right before the election. We are going to take a break and then we will have, I guess I can't call her senator, it's former senator, but we have to say, Your Honor, Judge Lena C. Taylor. We'll be back in a minute.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org.
Wisconsin Voices 3 pillars: protecting democracy, teaching advocacy, building community.
Hi, my name is Tamika Vukovic, co-executive director of Wisconsin Voices. Please join Wisconsin Voices every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We will be focusing on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
You're listening to WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee.
Okay. Welcome back. We are here with, I'm so excited, y'all, because Brian is clowning right now.
Yeah, not yet.
You see all his teeth?
I just play my position a little bit. I come in and we got these serious.
We don't have
positions.
positions.
Well, I just want to make sure that I let you get your great questions out. But just to start off with, Miss Judge Lena Taylor, how you doing? It's good to see you.
I'm doing good. Good to be seen.
I've been privileged to work with you on some projects with Wisconsin Voices and seeing how you get down and get things done when we did the Black Advocacy Day last year, and we was missing you this year, for real.
All right.
Just before Tamika gets into the detailed questions with you, how's that transition been for you the last few, I guess last month or so?
Almost 2 months.
Yeah.
The 29th, so in 7 days and 1 week, it'll be 2 months. It has been like rocket.
Off.
Yeah. It's been like fire hose of information, right? But we holding it down. We doing our part. We're changing some lives. We're holding some people accountable.
Happy to hear that too.
Yeah, we've really been able to adjust. It's been a hard adjustment because for those that didn't know, I had surgery, 2 surgeries on my left foot. And the year before, of course, I broke my ankle.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole gait and ability to walk was a challenge. So that's a lot alone because the courthouse and the complexes, it's a lot of walking to be able to do that.
I just want to, I'm going to interrupt. This is the funny. I was watching, you have been kind of your own boss, doing your own schedule. How is that 8 to 5? You like being there at 8:30,
7:30 to 9 in the beginning, easily 7 to 9 in probably my first month because I was learning and wanting to really get a grip on everything that was going on. So that was different because I'm accustomed to, I'm a multitasker. So I could have committee on and doing 3 other things and talking with somebody and reading some stuff, so it's different because now I'm sitting in the seat and I got to sit in the seat. I got to read the information. And so that was interesting. I'm also a person, I might have went to my mama house to eat and, God rest her soul, or I might have went out to lunch or whatever. Now I take my lunch, it's so funny. I remember Wisconsin Voices had these lunch bags. I was like, I don't need one of them. I use that doggone lunch bag. Oh my goodness. Every day, especially if I got a big lunch, that I'm taking. So it's been different. But we've adjusted. I mean, this is, a calendar, but it was 2 decades ago, right? That I did every day. I mean, before I ever ran for a state representative, I had like 20 cases a day. I was in the courtroom every day. That don't even include what my employees, my staff lawyers had. So that adjustment has been real. But back to your question about just the transition and how that's been, I don't know if people really understand. The governor told me on a Wednesday that he was going to appoint me on a Friday. I was a practicing lawyer, so I had to shut down my law office, but I also was a state senator, so I had to shut down my Senate stuff. And
all in 2 days?
All in 2 days. And thank goodness for the weekend. And thank goodness that the swearing in was at 4:00, because when I tell you I used every bit of that time, I had to, reconcile my trust account. I had to contact my clients. I had to hunt down some folks because I wasn't expecting to have to get them in 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? I had to go to the bank in order to do that. The checks had to clear by a certain time in order the bank to be able to close the account, because I couldn't have those accounts open as a judge. In the Senate office, can I tell you that I had to be like 2 weeks into being the judge, and I'm on the bench, and I realized I never went to the Senate office in Madison and packed it up. And I was like, and Michelle and Ravel and Justin was like, we got you, we'll pack it up. But it's one sign that I was known for when we did the Pledge of Allegiance, that I want, that one of my colleagues gave me, because it's what he remembers me by, which is liberty and justice for all. And I want to make sure that I have that in my courtroom. So the transition has been rapid. It was like rapid fire is what I'm trying to tell you. So Wednesday, he told me. Friday, he announced it. Monday, I got sworn in. Tuesday, I was in training.
Wow.
The following week, I was on the bench. And the following week after that, I was by myself.
They threw you right in the mix.
414.
I had a caseload going in the door. The case, I was placed in misdemeanor court. So to the point of the caller that asked about specialized, you don't go necessarily into a specialized court at all. The chief judge, Judge Ashley, makes the decision with the district court coordinator, I think is DC or
so
administrator.
When you go in, you could get anything depending on what
wherever they choose. Sometimes,
where he wants you to
sometimes people have been placed in children's court, but in children's court you get what is equivalent to misdemeanor cases and felony cases when you go in. And to the person that asked, a judge, every judge had to be a judge for the first time at some point. Right. Every judge. You're not born a judge. Right. When you are a lawyer, you excuse me, have to go from being a lawyer to being a judge. The issue is that when you've practiced, you know how cases go. So honestly, when I was put in misdemeanor court, I was like, yes, because for me, it's where I started, right? And even though I was doing misdemeanors, felonies, I was doing personal injury, so civil, family, anyway, a variety. As an attorney, going back to misdemeanor, I don't know what to say, but it's like riding a bike in a way. It just clicked, right? And so I've been able to hit the ground running and understand, and of course, I've had to figure things out. But one of the things that I've done is look at my cases, far enough out so that I can say, okay, now what is this? I don't understand this, and I can print that stuff off, and then I can go to one of my colleagues and say, okay, this is what, and read it, know what I want to do, and say, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? Am I on the right path?
So you kind of, sometimes you have to collaborate to
most definitely
to get the understanding.
Most definitely, you have to research. Because to your point, I mean, I'm in my courtroom. It's my courtroom, right? I run that,
right?
But what comes before me, I have to make the decision. So if I don't know, I have to research. If I have to write a decision, I got to write it. There isn't somebody to write it. There isn't somebody to research it. There isn't any of those things.
Okay, we got a caller. Anybody who would like to talk to the Honorable Judge Alina Taylor,
It's
414
ER twice.
444-5250. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, the honorable. Oh, yes. Go ahead, black woman. That's what I'm talking about. Love your mind, love your fight, love your spirit. And I'm loving that you kicking out that information of how you are, who you are, and what you got, your stats, what you bring to the table.
Thank you. Thank you,
Let me
my brother.
slap-
Thank you.
Let me slap the table 2 more times. And let me say,
Oh, we
I
slapping
did it for
tables
you. I
now?
did it for you.
And I'm talking right now. I don't care if people be talking. I'm talking. Let me talk. I'm talking. Yeah. And if they don't like what I'm saying, too bad. And if they do, they like what I'm saying. Hear it. If you don't know anything about it, just listen, ask, and inquire. Cause that lady got that intelligence. That lady got that information. That lady got that. Hey, you been there. That lady got that. And let me tell some other things. But I'm gonna be quiet. Find it out for yourself. Thank you, Judge. Now that you and one more thing I gotta ask. Now that you done shot up and you in a different realm of intellect and business and socialization. Can you still come around and hang by the dumpster with the regular, like us that we or now that we gotta know? Okay, we can't be in the same picture with her. We just gotta wave at you behind the cameraman and just
You
wink and act,
silly.
okay, yeah. We don't never want to mess up your no.
You silly.
Hey,
So let
you
me say,
call
let
the
me answer.
Dobermans, you call the Pit Bulls, you call the Rockwellers when you need us. Outside of that, we'll stay in the alleys, we'll stay in the junkyard.
Well, let me answer you, Rockwaller. Let me answer you. So first of all, one would argue that I think I'm a poodle with a pit bull mentality and a Rockwaller bite. But I'll say this to you. Yes, sir. I still go in the community. Yes, sir. I still take pictures with people. Matter of fact, the community has come to visit my courtroom. If somebody don't come every week, it's shocking. Okay. I can tell you one guy came. I got a sweatshirt on today. And the guy came with a sweatshirt on with a picture from the top of the chest, like under your chin, all the way down to your stomach of me and him. Okay. From a picture in the community with the front and the back with the picture on. The DA said in 18 years, I ain't never seen this.
So usually people come into court and they're supporting like either the defendant or the victim or
Right.
They
ain't coming to support the judge.
You don't see big judge pictures. We
Right.
got another caller.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Hi, Lena.
Hi.
This is Sister D. This is Annette.
Well, hello.
Oh, Lena, you used to do your little walk. You did your walks. You're riding on your bike and everything. The last time we see each other everywhere. And sometimes you knock at the door. It's Lena. I'm so thirsty. She can walk in my house. I need some water. She goes, I said, Lena, it's in the refrigerator. You get it from the refrigerator. She said, oh, that's so good. I mean, it's no problem. She can come here and get anything she wants. That's the type of person we love. Anything she wants, she can have it right here at 3829.
No, don't be giving your address.
Don't tell your address because everybody be knocking on the door.
Right,
Can I have
some water?
Or pass out flyers, or she might drop some flyers off at my house.
Well, I definitely got some cards made already for the reelection reelection to keep me on the bench. It's not until this time in 2025, but it's no need for us to wait for people to know so that we can spread those cards out. I'm trying to let this election that's going on right now get passed, and as soon as this judicial election is passed, I'll be distributing those cards so that people know the election will be in a February-April cycle.
Okay.
Well,
now, Lena, I had some health issues on walking and things like that, but I will be up in those offices to be on the phones voting. You know, I'm very active in the voting situation.
Okay.
So I will be very active, and I'm trying to pull more, like at the church, the youngins. You know me,
Yes.
I will do that. I love, and remember we were at the Union Station down there.
Okay, I don't remember, but what I will tell you is this: every vote matters, every phone
Yes,
call
ma'am.
matters, every person talking
Okay.
to people and reminding them to vote matters. And
Yes,
so keep doing
yes.
that kind of work. And I appreciate all your love.
I love you.
Thank
Love
you,
you back.
caller.
Be blessed.
When we come back, we're gonna we're gonna talk about the voting, early voting, and then we're gonna actually ask you about the caller who asked about the school buildings, the empty school buildings,
Okay.
and you had a little insight on that. We'll be right back. Be a voice with Wisconsin Voices.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org.
50.8% of Wisconsin voters are female. Women drive Wisconsin elections. Free was born in 2016 as the women of Expo needed space to lift each other up and address the unique pathways and issues women face related to incarceration. Formerly incarcerated and system-impacted women want you to exercise your right to vote. If you're a woman with a prior felony conviction but are no longer on community supervision, you are eligible to vote. Visit www.myvote.wi.gov to register today. If you are currently on felony probation, parole, or extended supervision in Wisconsin, please be a vote influencer. You can still share your experience, encourage folks to register to vote, drive them to the polls, and educate them on the candidate issues that are important to you. Freedom comes when we reclaim it. Participating in democracy is a vital part to have your voice heard and to influence change. Please visit www.expowisconsin.org and join the fight in Wisconsin against felony disenfranchisement.
Wisconsin Voices 3 pillars: protecting democracy, teaching advocacy, building community.
Hi, my name is Tamika Vukovic, co-executive director of Wisconsin Voices. Please join Wisconsin Voices every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We will be focusing on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
You're listening to WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee.
Let's take our caller first, and then we will go into where to vote and the early voting times and places. Go ahead, caller. Oh, nope, there's nothing. So early voting has started, and it started on March 19th, and it goes through the 30th. It is open today until 5 o'clock at most places. Zeidler Building, the Capitol Drive Voting Center. Remember, that's right on the corner of 60th and Capitol. And Zablocki Library. And those locations are also open this weekend from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then on Sunday from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Those are those three locations. With Washington Park, Tippecanoe Washington Park Library, Tippecanoe Library, and Good Hope Library, they're open today until 5, and then Saturday from 10 to 2. We really, really, really want you to go out and vote. If you cannot make it by the 30th, remember that you can vote on election day. Okay, we have a caller. Caller, go ahead.
Yes, I just want to say good afternoon to you, Action Wisconsin, and thank you, young lady, for being there. I just want to give a shout out. To my former senator, Leonard Taylor, that's a judge now. And Senator Judge Leonard Taylor, are you still there?
I am. It's so good to hear you.
Yeah, this is old JT. Don't get mad
I
at me,
know,
okay?
JT. I know.
But I just want to say thank you so very much for your courage and for your tenacity and how you be for the community. Like, I don't know, forever. I'm going to make it quick, okay? I'm going to make it quick. I respect. Judge Taylor, have there been any difference as far as you've been taking care of the community when you was a senator? I know it's kind of like adolescent, right? But I'm just going to ask you anyway. Have there been any difference since you've been a senator, since you've been a judge, watching out for the community?
Yes, it's a big difference. People are often accustomed to calling me to ask me for advice, direction, if I can represent them. Well, what about in this situation? I can't do those things anymore. And so the most I can do is refer somebody to an attorney. So that's been hard for people because people are very accustomed to that. And then it's even more difficult because they may not be able to know someone that they can call to get that kind of advice from. So that's been very different. But outside of having those kind of issues, having a heart for the people is something that still exists, and it shows in another way because I have a heart for this community and for people to be able to feel safe and to feel that justice happens fairly and impartially. And so I'm excited to be able to be the administrator of justice in Branch 41.
Thank you. Senator,
Thank you, JT.
to go back to what someone asked about the
buildings. So
Yes.
the buildings are owned by the city of Milwaukee.
I'm sorry, I said senator.
You
I
did,
mean,
and I
judge.
answered. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. You know,
The honorable.
you know what?
It's
It's
hard.
been
But-
it's been 20 years and we've been
Exactly.
called. Give us a little
Listen, the
bit of
chief
leeway.
judge called me senator one day, and he said it's gonna take me a minute. So we've been good since then. But
I got a quick question on that same note.
Uh-huh.
When a president is, you say former president,
Right, you
would
can
it
still-
be out of line
yeah,
to
I
say
could-
former senator?
No, it's not out of line to say that or to say honorable because in both situations
Right,
it's
okay.
honorable.
Or it's
Um,
it's the one that you see as most prestigious, I guess. So
Well, in the end, now I need people to know that I'm Judge Lena Taylor in Branch 41.
Then
You know
take off
what?
our stuff.
You know what?
Take off our stuff. Y'all, for y'all that's watching on YouTube, she got on a Senate sweatshirt. Take off
She ain't
our
lying.
stuff.
So Michelle done come in and told her
She
to
got
take
the
off her
wardrobe.
Senate stuff.
She ain't lying. She ain't lying. I put this sweatshirt on and knew I was coming to this interview. I said somebody gonna say something. I knew it was gonna be her.
But we want to make sure we answer this
But to
question.
answer the question, the properties are owned by the city of Milwaukee. So the city of Milwaukee is a landlord. So for example, no matter who a tenant is, they're still the landlord.
Right.
They're still the person who the contract has to be with, so on and so forth. They're responsible for so much that makes up the building. When there isn't a school in that building, the city has the obligation to determine who gets to use the building. It's not the school district.
Well, we asked
So
the city
people-
to give us one of those buildings for
Well,
Wisconsin Voices. Go
there's-
ahead. And you just
There's
send
been
us
a
one.
whole bunch. There's
No, well, we don't have
okay,
time. We
ain't got
got
time. Well,
I'm
hey,
sorry,
Johnny
caller.
Richards. It looks like
I am so sorry. We
Other
just
caller.
we have less than 30 seconds about to wrap this up. See, you come in and people want to talk, they want to ask you
well,
questions.
thank you for having me.
I hope you will try to at least come visit us at least once a month.
I
you
would
know,
love
tell
to come
us-
back and talk about
on
Lena in
through.
the law and help you to understand how you should
Oh,
go
now
to
it's
court
Lena
when you
in the
come.
law.
I like that.
Lena
Little 20-minute
in the
session,
law.
Lena in the law.
There you go.
And real
All
quick
right,
before we get up
Brian,
out of here,
listen, we got it.
I like that. Real quick before we get up out of here, we just got to remember Wednesday, March 27th, 6 to 8, 421 West Keith. We have Civic Class, Civic 101 with Tamika and Brian.
There is, if you want to register, you can register on wisconsinvoices.org. Thank you for listening to Be a Voice, Wisconsin Voices.
That's great.